Welcome. If you're listening to this, chances are you have a complicated relationship with money. Maybe you feel like you're working hard, but somehow always coming up short. Maybe you're drowning in debt, living paycheck to paycheck. Or you've simply accepted that understanding your finances is about as fun as a root canal. Kristin Wong gets it. She wrote Get Money for people exactly like you. And here's the thing that makes this book different. She approaches personal finance like a video game. Think about it. When you play a game, you have a clear mission. You face challenges, you level up, and along the way, you actually have fun. Wong believes that managing money can work the same way. Instead of treating your finances like a punishment, you can treat them like a game you're determined to win. The book is divided into 3 stages: power up, optimize, and grow. Each stage contains specific levels or chapters that build on each other. By the time you work through all of them, you won't just understand money better, you'll actually feel in control of it. And that sense of control, Wong argues, is everything. When you feel in control, you make better decisions. Those better decisions reinforce your sense of control. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, but in the best possible way. So let's start at the beginning. Level 1. Stage 1. Power up. Level 1. Define your mission. Before you can win at any game, you need to know what winning looks like. Wong asks a simple but surprisingly difficult question. What do you actually want? Most people never really answer this. They say things like, I want to be debt-free, or I want to save more money. But those aren't missions, they're tasks. A real mission connects to something deeper. Wong introduces a concept called the dream bio. Imagine you're at a party and someone asks you to describe your life. Not your job title or your salary, your actual life. What does your ideal day look like? Where do you live? Who are you with? What do you spend your time doing? This isn't just a feel-good exercise. When you connect your financial decisions to something you genuinely care about, those decisions become easier. You're not saying no to buying lunch out because you're depriving yourself. You're saying yes to a life you actually want. Wong shares her own experience. For years, she was obsessed with paying off debt, but she never stopped to ask why. Once she did, she realized she wanted freedom, the ability to travel, to take creative risks, to not stress about money constantly. That mission changed how she approached every financial decision. So your first challenge is simple. Write your dream bio. Be specific, be honest, and then use it as your North Star. Level 2. Build your "oh crap, I didn't see that coming" fund. Now that you have your mission, it's time to power up. And the first power up Wong recommends is an emergency fund. She calls it the "oh crap, I didn't see that coming" fund because that's exactly what it's for. Car repairs, medical bills, job loss, the things life throws at you when you least expect them. Wong recommends starting with $1,000. That might not cover a major emergency, but it will cover most small to medium surprises. And more importantly, it gives you a buffer. When you have that buffer, you stop living in crisis mode. You can make decisions from a place of stability rather than panic. She emphasizes that this fund isn't for planned expenses. It's not for holiday gifts or a new TV. It's for genuine emergencies. And it should be in a separate account, preferably one that's not too easy to access. Out of sight, out of mind. The goal is to eventually build this fund to cover 3 to 6 months of living expenses. But for now, just start with $1,000. That's your first level up. Level 3. Make frugality work for you. The word frugal often comes with baggage. It sounds like deprivation. It sounds like saying no to everything fun. But Wong reframes frugality as something else entirely, being intentional about where your money goes. She introduces a concept called the inverted pyramid for cutting expenses. Imagine a pyramid with 3 layers. At the very top, the smallest part,
are your variable wants. These are things like eating out, entertainment, coffee shop visits. These are the easiest to cut and should be your first target. In the middle are your fixed wants. These are recurring expenses that you could reduce but might require more effort, like your cable bill, your gym membership, or your phone plan. At the bottom, the largest part, are your fixed needs: rent, utilities, insurance, debt payments. These are the hardest to change, and they should be your last resort. Wong's point is that most people start at the bottom when they try to save money. They think about moving to a cheaper apartment or selling their car, but those changes are huge and often unrealistic. Instead, start at the top. Trim your variable wants first, then look at your fixed wants. Only after you've exhausted those options should you consider changing your fixed needs. This approach makes frugality sustainable. You're not overhauling your entire life overnight. You're making small, strategic cuts that add up over time. Wong also shares a practical challenge. Track every single expense for a week, not to judge yourself, but to understand where your money actually goes. You might be surprised to discover how much you're spending on things that don't actually align with your mission.
Level 4. Budget like you're building a house. Budgets get a bad reputation. People think of them as restrictive, like a diet for your wallet. But Wong argues that a good budget is the opposite of restrictive. It's a blueprint for building the life you want. Think of it like building a house. You wouldn't start construction without a plan. You'd figure out how much materials cost, how much labor costs, and how long it will take. Your budget is the same thing. It's your plan for allocating resources to achieve your goals. Wong recommends a simple approach, the 50-30-20 budget. 50% of your income goes to needs: rent, utilities, groceries, transportation. 30% goes to wants: entertainment, dining out, hobbies. 20% goes to savings and debt repayment. But she doesn't insist on this exact formula. The important part is that you have a system. You know where your money is going, and you're intentionally directing it toward what matters to you. She also emphasizes that your budget should be flexible. Life changes, priorities shift. Your budget should adapt with you. The goal isn't perfection, it's awareness and intentionality. Level 5. Don't let money destroy your relationship. Money is one of the most common sources of conflict in relationships. Wong dedicates an entire level to this because she knows how important it is. She introduces a concept called yours, mine, and ours. This is a simple system for couples managing money together. You have a joint account for shared expenses, rent, utilities, groceries, savings goals. Then each person has their own separate account for personal spending. This approach respects both partners' autonomy while ensuring shared responsibilities are covered. You don't have to ask permission to buy something for yourself, but you're also not hiding purchases or keeping secrets. Wong also emphasizes the importance of communication. She suggests having regular money dates, scheduled times to talk about finances without pressure. These aren't arguments, they're check-ins. What's working? What's not? What are we saving for next? The key is to approach money as a team. You're on the same side, working towards shared goals. When conflicts arise, and they will, focus on the underlying values rather than the specific numbers.
Stage 2. Optimize. Level 6. Break up with your bank. Wong has strong feelings about banks. Specifically, she thinks most people are with the wrong ones. She tells a story about her own banking history. For years, she stayed with a major national bank that charged her monthly fees, paid almost no interest, and offered terrible customer service. She stayed because it was familiar, because switching felt like too much hassle. When she finally switched to an online bank with no fees and higher interest rates, she was shocked at how easy it was. And she realized she'd been losing hundreds of dollars a year for no reason. Wong recommends shopping around for a bank that actually serves you. Look for no monthly fees, high interest rates on savings, and easy access to ATMs. Online banks often offer better terms than traditional brick-and-mortar banks. She also encourages people to review their credit cards. If your card has an annual fee and you're not using the rewards enough to justify it, find a better one. If you're carrying a balance and paying high interest, look into balance transfer offers or lower rate cards. The point is, your banking relationships should work for you, not against you. If they're not, it's time to break up. Level 7. Deconsumerize your brain. This is one of my favorite sections of the book. Wong dives into the psychology behind why we spend money, often in ways that don't align with our values. She introduces several cognitive biases that affect our spending. The anchoring effect. When you see a $100 item marked down to $60, you feel like you're saving $40, but you're actually spending $60 on something you may not need. The original price anchors your perception. The sunk cost fallacy. You've already spent money on something, say a gym membership you never use, so you keep spending because you don't want to waste what you've already invested. But that's exactly the wrong logic. Past spending shouldn't dictate future decisions. Social proof. We buy things because we see other people buying them. We upgrade our phones because everyone else does. We order the expensive bottle of wine because our friends do. The scarcity mindset. When something is limited edition or only 3 left in stock, we panic and buy. The fear of missing out overrides rational thinking. Wong's solution is what she calls conscious consumption. Before you buy anything, pause. Ask yourself, does this align with my mission? Am I buying this because I need it or because I'm reacting to some psychological trigger? Will this purchase add real value to my life? She also recommends a 24-hour rule for non-essential purchases. If you want something, wait a day before buying it. Most of the time, the urge passes.
Level 8. Join the 800 Club. We're talking about credit scores. And yes, the title is a bit cheeky, but the message is serious. Your credit score affects everything. Interest rates on loans, insurance premiums, even rental applications. A good score can save you thousands of dollars over time. Wong breaks down what actually goes into your credit score. Payment history, 35%. Paying on time is the single most important factor. Credit utilization, 30%. This is the percentage of your available credit you're actually using. Keep it below 30%. Length of credit history, 15%. Older accounts are better. Credit mix, 10%. Having different types of credit, cards, loans, etc., helps. New credit, 10%. Opening too many accounts too quickly hurts your score. She then gives practical strategies for improving your score. Pay down balances, set up automatic payments to avoid late fees, ask for credit limit increases to lower your utilization ratio, and check your credit reports regularly for errors. Wong also emphasizes that a good credit score isn't about being rich, it's about being responsible, and it's absolutely achievable for anyone willing to put in the work. Level 9. Supercharge your debt payoff plan. Debt is heavy. It weighs on you emotionally as much as financially. Wong's approach to paying it off is both practical and motivational. She presents 2 common methods. The debt snowball. List your debts from smallest to largest. Pay minimums on everything, then throw any extra money at the smallest debt. Once it's paid off, roll that payment into the next smallest. The momentum keeps you motivated. The avalanche. List your debts by interest rate, highest to lowest. Pay minimums on everything, then attack the highest interest debt first. This saves you the most money in the long run. Wong doesn't insist on one method over the other. The best method is the one you'll stick with. If you need psychological wins to stay motivated, use the snowball. If you're focused purely on math, use the avalanche. But she also encourages readers to supercharge their debt payoff. That means looking for extra money to throw at your debt. Tax refunds, work bonuses, selling things you don't need.
Any windfall should go directly toward your debt until it's gone. She also addresses the emotional side of debt. Feeling ashamed or overwhelmed is normal, but shame doesn't help you pay it off. What helps is action. Every payment, no matter how small, moves you forward.
Level 10. Take the fear out of April 15th. Taxes. Just the word makes most people anxious. But Wong dedicates a level to demystifying them. Her first piece of advice is simple. Don't fear taxes. They're a fact of life, and understanding them puts you in control. She covers the basics, how marginal tax brackets work. You're not taxed at your highest rate on all your income. Common deductions and credits, and the difference between a tax preparer and a tax planner. For people with side hustles, which we'll get to in Stage 3, she emphasizes the importance of tracking expenses and setting aside money for quarterly estimated taxes. Getting surprised by a huge tax bill is avoidable if you plan ahead. She also recommends using tax software or working with a professional if your situation is complex. The cost is worth the peace of mind. Stage 3. Grow. Level 11. Build a lazy investment portfolio. Investing intimidates a lot of people. It seems complicated. It seems risky. It seems like something only rich people do. Wong wants to change that. She argues that investing is not just for the wealthy. It's for anyone who wants their money to work for them. She introduces the concept of a lazy portfolio. This is a simple, low-maintenance investment strategy that doesn't require constant attention. You choose a few broad market index funds, like a total stock market fund and a total bond market fund, and you let them sit. The key principles are: start early. Compound interest is powerful. The sooner you start investing, the more time your money has to grow. Be consistent. Invest a fixed amount every month regardless of what the market is doing. This is called dollar cost averaging, and it smooths out the ups and downs. Don't try to time the market. Even professional investors can't predict short-term movements. Your goal is long-term growth. Keep costs low. Index funds have low fees compared to actively managed funds. Over time, those fees add up. Wong also covers retirement accounts, 401ks, IRAs, Roth versus traditional. She explains the differences and helps readers figure out which accounts make sense for their situation. Her bottom line: investing doesn't have to be complicated. Start small, stay consistent, and let time do the heavy lifting.
Level 12. Learn to negotiate like a shark, or at least like a piranha. Negotiation is one of the most underutilized tools for increasing your income. Wong devotes an entire level to it because she knows how transformative it can be. She shares her own journey with negotiation. Like many women, she used to avoid it entirely. She'd accept whatever salary was offered. She'd pay full price for things without question. She hated confrontation. But then she read Barbara Stanny's Secrets of Six-Figure Women and realized that her reluctance to negotiate was costing her tens of thousands of dollars a year. Wong identifies 4 personality traits that hold people back. Being too accepting. Under-earners don't ask for more because they assume the answer will be no. They're so tolerant of earning less that they don't even consider money as part of the equation. Underestimating their worth. Many people don't realize how valuable their contributions are. They undervalue themselves, and others do too. Willingness to work for free. This shows up as unpaid overtime, free consulting, or extra responsibilities without extra pay. High earners expect to be compensated for their time and effort. Wong's advice: always ask. Whether it's a salary, a freelance rate, or even a bill, you never know what's possible until you ask. She provides scripts and strategies. Research market rates before negotiating. Focus on value, not need. Practice with small negotiations, like asking for a discount on a cable bill, to build confidence. And remember, Negotiation isn't confrontation, it's a conversation. You're giving the other person an opportunity to say yes. Level 13. Do the side hustle. Boost your money goal. Wong is a side hustle expert. She's done everything from freelance writing to selling vintage boots on eBay. Her final level is all about earning more money outside your regular job. She's clear about why side hustles matter. Concepts like budgeting, frugality, and conscious consumption are important, but nothing will turn your finances around better than simply making more money. But she's also realistic. Not everyone wants to work 80 hours a week. The goal isn't to burn out, it's to strategically boost your income to achieve specific goals. Wong advises readers to think about side hustles in terms of their skills and interests. What are you already good at? What do you enjoy? The most sustainable side hustles are the ones that don't feel like work. She covers a wide range of options: freelancing, consulting, tutoring, pet sitting, driving for ride-sharing services, selling products online, renting out a room on Airbnb. The possibilities are endless. And she also emphasizes the importance of treating your side hustle like a business. Track your income and expenses. Set aside money for taxes. Know your hourly rate and don't work for less than it's worth. And finally, she reminds readers to have a goal for side hustle income. Are you paying off debt? Building an emergency fund? Saving for a down payment? Having a clear purpose makes the extra work feel meaningful rather than exhausting.
Level 14. Conclusion. Get money. We've reached the final level. Wong closes the book by returning to where we started, the relationship between money and the life you want. She writes, when you feel in control, you're more likely to make decisions that maintain your control, and that sense of power becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Money is a tool. It's not good or evil. It's not something to worship or fear. It's simply a resource that, when managed well, allows you to live the life you want. Wong's final challenge is to take action. Not perfect action, not comprehensive action, just one small step. Pick one thing from this book and do it today. $20 isn't going to change your situation overnight, but the outcome is less important than the process. The very act of making a choice helps you establish control. And once you feel that control, you'll want more of it. You'll make another choice, and another, and another. Over time, those choices add up to something remarkable.
Final thoughts. What makes this book different? Before we wrap up, I want to reflect on what makes Get Money different from other personal finance books. First, it's honest about the psychological barriers to managing money. Wong doesn't just give you spreadsheets and formulas. She talks about shame, fear, and the stories we tell ourselves about why we're bad with money. She's been there. She gets it. Second, it's practical. Every level includes specific exercises and challenges. This isn't a book you read passively. It's a book you work through. By the time you finish, you've actually done something. Third, it's funny. Personal finance books can be dry and intimidating. Wong's voice is warm, relatable, and often genuinely funny. She makes you feel like you're having a conversation with a smart friend, not sitting through a lecture. Fourth, it's inclusive. Wong writes for everyone, regardless of where you're starting from. Whether you're deep in debt or already have savings, whether you're single or partnered, whether you're a freelancer or have a traditional job, the principles apply. And finally, it's about more than money. It's about freedom. It's about agency. It's about living a life that reflects what you actually value, not just what you can afford. The big ideas in one place. If you're recording this and want a quick recap, here are the key takeaways from Get Money. 1. Start with your mission. Define what you actually want before you worry about the numbers. Your dream bio is your North Star. 2. Build an emergency fund.
Even $1,000 changes the game. It turns crisis mode into stability. 3. Be intentional with spending. Use the inverted pyramid to cut costs without sacrificing what matters. 4. Create a flexible budget. Know where your money is going and direct it towards your goals. 5. Manage money as a team. Use the yours, mine, and ours system to balance autonomy and shared responsibility. 6. Optimize your banking. Don't pay fees. Don't accept low interest. Shop around for better options. 7. Understand your psychology. Recognize cognitive biases that lead to overspending and practice conscious consumption. 8. Build good credit. Pay on time, keep utilization low, and check your reports regularly. 9. Pay off debt strategically. Use the snowball or avalanche method and supercharge payments with windfalls. 10. Demystify taxes. Understand the basics, track expenses, and plan ahead. 11. Start investing. Keep it simple with a lazy portfolio. Start early, be consistent, and keep costs low. 12. Negotiate everything. Always ask. You never know what's possible until you do. 13. Earn more with side hustles. Use your skills and interests to boost your income towards specific goals. 14. Take action. One small step today is better than perfect planning tomorrow.
Final words. Kristin Wong wrote Get Money for people who are tired of feeling stressed and confused about their finances. She wrote it for people who want to live the life they want, not just the life they can afford. The path she lays out is clear, practical, and achievable. You don't need to be a math genius. You don't need to win the lottery. You just need to be willing to start. So here's your challenge. Pick one thing, just one. Maybe it's defining your dream bio. Maybe it's opening a savings account for your emergency fund. Maybe it's negotiating one bill or signing up for one side hustle. Whatever it is, do it today. And when you finish, pick another thing and another. Because every step you take builds momentum. Every choice you make reinforces your control. And before you know it, you'll finally get money. Thank you for listening.